this computer. Okay. Um, okay, so welcome to our second whiteboard. So we all have now all the different boards, right? Um, here's what I would like. So we're not going to go through like one by one telling your board, because that's kind of boring. We did that last time. What I want to do now is I want you guys to look at all the boards on the Google Slides, right? And I want you guys to have a conversation, maybe like 5 minute, right? 4 or 5 minute conversation around, did we make any progress? Are there things that you are noticing? Like, are there patterns that you're noticing? The patterns could be around the content, right? So the quality of the data, like, do you see that, has the data changed significantly? Like, are we closer together from one to the other group? That's one. The second thing that you guys can look at is you can think about it in terms of, did we learn anything about presentation? Are our boards better presented? Has the presentation improved? Is it clear or not clear, right? And then keep in mind, like, all the stuff we talked about, like, I'd like everybody to be able to talk. I'd like one person not to dominate the air, right? So I'm going to be quiet and I'm going to let you guys chat. So first, like, take a minute, look at all the different boards, and then what do you guys notice? So everybody on mute, and then we'll just have a conversation.
Okay, I guess I'll go, right? That's how it works. Okay.
Yeah, so try to see, right, you can go, or, Tara, I think I had her hand up just a little bit before you, so Tara, why don't you go first? But like, look for whoever is ready to talk, and if there's nobody ready to talk, just speak, right? So Tara, go.
Oh, okay. So I think organizing this time put their data, like what their top were, onto their spread, which is really nice, so that you can see your data. So that's
Okay. So other thoughts?
I noticed that all the periods of the pendulum were in like a certain range, I guess, almost. Like, it was from point 9 something to like 1.4 as like, so I think it was pretty consistent, or as consistent as you could probably get it.
Okay.
So.
Also, like, everyone's using stickies, which makes it look really clean rather than like just writing or using the typing feature. And I think that's really useful because it keeps all the writing the same size, and you can choose from like cool colors.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Ollie, I'm not going to call on people, right? So if you're ready to talk, just talk.
Oh, okay. So I think it was Elliot that brought this up, but I did notice a range too, where it was like, it seemed like it was like high, like below 1, like, 0.8, 0.9, up to like mid ones. It seemed like that was the general range, and it seems like it didn't, get as close together as I thought it would get, but it definitely was an improvement on last time.
Mm-hmm. Any other thoughts? Anything that you agree with, anything you disagree with, anything? Again, at this point, it's mostly like, this is the same work we've done last time. Let's see what we just make it better. Are you noticing anything about presentation? So Vivi talked about the fact that it's nice that people are using stickies because it makes it clean, like we know who's doing what. And it's sort of like, it makes it for a nice clean board, which I agree. Some level, that makes a lot of sense. I don't know if you guys remember, but last class, Natalia had a point around the number of significant figures that we wanted to use for our numbers, right? Some people reported a period of 1. Some people reported a period of 1.061. And remember, Natalia made it about some things are just like warrant more precision than others. And I said, well, maybe it's about using the tool. Assuming we all use tools that are about the same, what should be true about our numbers? Should they be different? Should it be the same? Should it be
similar.
Should it be similar, right? In terms of length anyway, like not the number itself, but in terms of length. If you look at the data, like look at look at room 4, for example. What do you notice about, so is everybody on room 4? Can you guys see that? If you look at both like Tara's sticky and Vivi's sticky, what do you notice about the numbers that are on their stickies? How many digits are in their numbers? It's not a trick question. Yeah, Vincent?
There's 2 digits.
Or
3.
3, right? 105, 110, 1089, 098, 097, right? And their answer, the final answer, also has 3 digits, like 0.98, 1.18, right? As opposed to, for example, like, you know, and again, not to pick on anybody, but like when you see answers that are like, you know, average period is like 9.997 or 1.997, right? Or, you know, so try to be careful when you report data, like your final result cannot be more precise than the numbers that you use to establish that result. Does that make sense? Because if you only measured things with a certain accuracy, your final result cannot be more accurate than the stuff you use to measure. Like that doesn't make a lot of sense. So it sounds like what we've done, it sounds like we've done some progress in terms of getting our numbers closer. What's an observation you guys are making? Like, are you guys finding that the way we're reporting the data, is that helpful for you guys? Vivi says yes. Taya, what do you think? I'm going to say the lists are great, but it's better if we can make a picture. I'm a visual person. I like pictures better than text. I mean, it's important to give the text, don't get me wrong, and I appreciate that you guys give the text, and that's the only thing we had so far, but it would be nice to do pictures. So our next task is going to learn how to make a text out of this. And for that, we're going to learn how to make what's called a histogram, right? A histogram is it's a summary of how often a certain value shows up. So again, if you go to room 4 and you look at Vivi's data, right? And you look at Vivi's data and you look at her data and it says like 0.99, 1.05, 1.1, 1.98, 0.97, 0.96, 0.90, 1.03, 0.92, 0.90, right? You can ask the question like, how often is a certain data within a certain range, right? And that's what's called a histogram. So here's what's going to happen now for all of you. And we're almost done with class. So I'm just going to go over everything. So I'm just going to go over everything that's, first of all, I'm going to stop this so that I don't need to be recording my class.